Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online challenge. We're on the play for game one. And without it being said, we're on a Eldrazi ramp. Completely forgot that part. Um, No. Like the main things we hit off top with the commercial district is either Rumble or K command. That's kind of about it. I'm gonna mulligan here. That's not like much better. It's workable, mind you, because we got a 6 on 3 and Ice Till potentially on 4. I'm not thrilled about it either. No acceleration. Mulligan one more time. We'll keep this one. So we go Fetch Surveil, Shifting, Rumble. I'm thinking I pitch Sire, pitch Talisman, or Stomping. I think I'll pitch the Talisman though. Verdant Cat pass. Yeah, not ideal opening hands. I definitely think like maybe the 6 was keepable. It was workable. But suppose our opponent's on energy, and I just don't feel like it would have been a good keep. Of course, now opponent won't be on energy, and then maybe it would have been a better keep in the grand scheme, but we'll see. Regardless, I think the Rumble into potential K command seems decent if you find a soul land. Or at the very least a color source, which we have plenty of. Opponent is supposedly duo queuing, so time between party passes might be a little bit more lengthy than one would like. With that said, we're going to pause the recording here and be back once they have passed priority. Alright, opponent's back. Let's go to main. What you got? Flooded Strand. Not cracking it though. Okay. We'll fetch Surveil. Windswept Teeth to Yard. We'll draw. Devourer. Rumble. Opponent's thinking it resolves. We find the temple we were looking for. We'll hold. Next turn we have K command, a K return in Yard. Looking pretty good. As well as a Cyrus 7 death in Yard, which means that we can start attacking in with Shifting Woodland soon. That's not bad at all. Almost wishing that we may have wanted to keep the Windswept Teeth on top. But I think we're in a pretty good position, all things considered. Opponent once again taking a bit of time to pass back priority. We'll once again pause the recording and be back once they have passed priority back. Alright. Opponent fetched with Flood Strand and Meticulous Archive Surveil. Interesting. Could be control. We'll hold. Hollowed Fountain. Shock 17. Looking more and more like control. Second main. End step. And draw. Tis a forest. We'll play the temple. I mean, we can use the K command on end step, X equals 2, ramp and scry draw to just see and then start attacking in of Shifting Woodland, would be my thought process here. Opponent once again. A little bit delayed here, but they do go to attacks, main, end, and their turn. What you got? There's a Marsh Flats. Okay. Well, I suppose I'm going to K command Ramp and Scry Draw. Do you have a counterspell? No more lies. Okay. Cannot prevent that. That's fine, though. We'll draw. Ghost Quarter. Play a forest. Shifting Wood targets Syra 7 death. Let's go to combat. Do you have a Solitude by chance? There's Solitude and Aang, Swift Savior. Was not expecting that. We'll pass in full. Alrighty then. Pay the ward. So Shifting Woodlands is out. Aang, Swift Savior, no more lies. Well, now I'm not entirely sure what we're playing against. That does make things a bit more interesting. We'll pass. We'll have to see a Myco spawn or a Ice Still here. We'll draw. Formidable Speaker is actually pretty good as well. Let's start with Speaker. Does Speaker resolve? 4 mana Subtlety by chance? Wan Shi Tong X2. So we're going to draw one card here. So it looks like almost like Azorius Wan Shi Tong. Formidable Speaker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to say no in that case. No reason to give you more. And we'll pass. Next turn we can devour the Wan Shi Tong. Unless you may have Consign Main. We'll pass. Field of Ruin hits the temple. Well, that is annoying, I will admit. Because this means that Devourer is offline, and they draw another card of Wan Shi Tong. So yeah, this almost looks like a Azorius Wan Shi Tong. Fascinating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Unless they bounce the Speaker, they do. Interesting. Wan Shi Tong will connect down to 22. We'll draw. Rumble. I will cast Rumble. Does Rumble resolve? It does. There's Myco Spawn, there's Breaker. The only downside of Myco Spawn, of course, is the fact that we then build up the Wan Shi Tong. But it might be correct regardless. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It would allow for us to play Devourer the next turn. Yeah, I think this is correct. Otherwise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess we could grab a land alternatively. But I think the Myco makes sense. So, Ghost Quarter. Again, unfortunately, it will trigger Wan Shi Tong. So we'll draw an extra card. They could Subtlety this, I suppose. If they have another Field Ruin, that would be problematic. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So yep, we're gonna go Temple. Wan Shi Tong will trigger, we'll pass in full. Yeah, if they have another Field Ruin, that would be an issue. We'll pass. No Field of Ruin. Good, good. to Fairy Plus. Path to Exile. Yes. Okay, I can see some benefits here to running Wan Shi Tong and Azorius rather than Dimir. Path to Exile is pretty good. And you still have access to Subtlety, Counterspell, but you also now have access to Solitude. Okay. I'm starting to see the mental math of why I go Azorius. How many basics do we think you run, friend? It's possible that you might be pretty close. So we're going to get rid of the Wan Shi Tong over the Teferi. Wan Shi Tong down. Unless you have Consign main. I'm gonna guess they probably have between 4 to 5 basics and a 2-color deck. I'm gonna say no to the K return. So I don't think we Ghost Quarter here, unfortunately. We have another Devour that came from as well. And we have a Speaker in hand that can go and find, let's say, Ice Tilt or ramp. Unfortunately, the Solitude did exile our Shifting Wood. There's another Wan Shi Tong. Is a Consult, digging 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So dig 6, pull 2. We could have tested the water of Ghost Quarter, but 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13. We're right now primed for Emrakul, so I'd rather keep the Ghost Quarter. Other Path to Exile. We'll fail to find. And pass. And pass. Land for turn. Imagine to Fairy Plus. Yep, yep. Anything else? Two white Orchid Phantom. Interesting. Was not expecting white Orchid Phantom main. Again, we will choose not to search. So now we're 1 color source off the Devourer. That is problematic. So we need a Temple, Lab, or Gemstone here. We'll draw. Well, Talisman sets us up for next turn. Trying to think, though, how we would like to proceed. I kind of want the Talisman to resolve, so let's start with Speaker and see if this gets countered. Marsh Flats fetch. We're going to use Speaker as bait. Yeah, that's fine. Shadow of Doubt. Wow. That is interesting. Choose not to. Cast Talisman and pass. Are we countering that? Aang Swift Savior. So Talisman's now airbent. We'll pass. So we again need a colorless source for Devourer. Hollow Fountain tapped. Attacking in for 4, down to 12. End step and draw. Devour is not the play, unfortunately. I'll attempt to cast the Talisman. Talisman does resolve. I would like to connect with Teferi so it doesn't bounce my Talisman back to hand. But looks like this is a Solitude. We'll pass. Not much can be done. Up to 14. And pass. Yeah, knowing that they have White Orchid and Field, we definitely need to sequence our lands specifically, don't we? I will say no. I guess in response I could have one of their lands. I should have. I already passed in full though, so I wasn't thinking at the time. A good reason not to press 6. Imagine you bounce the Talisman of Teferi. You bounce the White Orchid Phantom and replay it. Yeah, that will work too. Which means I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am now needing a Templar Lab off top. We'll draw. Breaker is not the answer, and we'll concede. Interesting. Okay. Definitely put Jukabog out. We can take Gemstone out. Thinking maybe a Dismember in. Definitely want to keep the Ice Till. And I think we run it back like this. Regardless, Azorius Wan Shi Tong. Was not expecting that today. On the play for game 2, I will keep so I imagine they've brought in Consign to memory. I'd be surprised otherwise. Play Misty Rain and pass in full. End step, and we hold. Surveil. Surveil will resolve. Keeps it on top. We'll fetch. And Surveil. Talisman. Talisman could be okay, though just it's like when we're casting, its casting window is a bit awkward, so we're going to say Talisman to Yard. We'll draw. I'll play Windswept Teeth. I don't want to go with Rumble right now in case of a White Orchid. We're going to go Stomping Ground Shock. And Rumble. There's Myco. There's Ice Till, though. Ooh, both are tempting. Myco Spawn, of course, can go for, let's say, a... whatchamacallit? Shifting Wood. We'll have how many types in yard? 2, 3, 4. So yeah, we'll go Myco Spawn. And we'll pass. And we'll hold. Looking like a potential Wan Shi Tong. We'll draw. K command. I'll play the Temple. We're going to hold a turn then. Flooded Strand. And passing. So I'm imagining a counter spell here. Going to ramp and scry draw. Use this as permission. Is this a consign? It is. Okay. We'll draw K command. I'll play Verdant Cat fetch, Stomping Ground Shock, and a kicked Myco Spawn. Hit the archive. Do you have a second consign? Fetch Flooded Strand, yield all. Hollowed Fountain Shock. Looks like a consign to me. Do you give me a body or give me a trigger is the next question. Wan Shi Tong is fine. Question now becomes, do we want Shifting Woodland? Do I want a temple? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We also could set up for Breaker next turn. Because clearly they don't have a consign, but Wan Shi Tong will trigger drawing them a card. So of course my fear here is that they have a white orchid. So I think we do go temple rather than shifting, as much as I do want to. Wan Shi Tong does trigger. And we hold. Rest in peace. Glad I did not go with shifting. This doesn't mean heat is offline. Wan Shi Tong attacks for 2. Down to 11, we'll draw. I will cast... Actually, I have to do it like this. So Wooded Foothill fetch for a forest. I should have done this beforehand. Attempt to heat you. Oh, you still draw a card of Wan Shi Tong? I guess so. So that's my mistake. For some reason, I thought, yeah, no, mistakes were made. I should not have allowed them to draw. Breaker break, Marsh Flats fetch. Do you have a consign? You do not, use Surveil instead. Consult to Yard, or rather exile. Yeah, that extra card will in fact matter in the long run. End step, pass. No solitudes yet. Keywords, of course. 3 mana. What this? 3 mana. You're looking at 8 damage. I forget if Aang Swift Savior, but I don't think that would be a smart decision. White Orchid leaves up the white source, or leaves up the blue source rather. It's a temple, that's fine. We will search since we have another forest left. We'll draw another breaker. Let's go to combat first. And there's Solitude, pitch Tef. Imagine they hit breaker. Yep. 3 in hand. You take the 3. Down to 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breaker break. And see if you have another consign. No consign. Body hits board. And we'll pass. We have 8 damage. Opponent will scoop it up. We'll take the win. Yeah, definitely need to make sure we sequence differently with Wan Shi Tong. I forget that doesn't matter if the counter goes on Wan Shi Tong. It's the trigger that matters at the end of the day. So Gemstone in, Rumble out, or run it back. We'll be on the draw for game 2, or game 3 rather. At least I'd imagine so. Yeah, we just need to fetch very mindfully of a few things. This looks good, though. Though it is very top deck reliant, I will admit. I will keep. We'll pass. I'm actually hesitant to play the Sire here. I think I just go for the Sprawl. We'll draw. So, Forest, Sprawl. For green. And pass. We can still play any of our ramp pieces next turn, regardless. But I just don't want to feed this Sire to a White Orchid Phantom if I can help it. Hollowed Fountain. Shock 17. Casting. White Orchid Phantom. Rest in Peace is fine. We'll draw. Devourer. A bit late to the party, mind you. I will, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. We'll play the Temple. And then Talisman. Sprawl. Green or red? We'll go red. And pass. So next turn we have Sire or Devourer. Looks like my internet is having issues, but only for stream as of I can tell. We'll have to keep an eye on that if we do end up disconnecting. We'll pass in full. Field of Ruin. That is fine. We anticipated this possibility. Or not. And there's the field as expected. We'll grab the forest. They have a island. We'll draw. Stomping Ground 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'd rather not play a Sire directly into a consign and get no value. So I'm thinking that we play Devourer instead. Devour target, Rest in Peace. At least we get Rest in Peace off board, if nothing else. Rest in Peace down. Shall we consign? We played around the consign. Perfect. And pass 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So no matter what, we can play the Sire next turn. 1, 2. Wan Shi Tong. White Orchid Phantom. It would appear to be the case. So they'll draw a card and Wan Shi Tong will grow. We'll draw. Or rather, we'll search. Wan Shi Tong. We'll draw. Myco Spawn. We don't want to play Myco Spawn just yet, I don't think. Stomping Ground or Lab? I'm thinking we go Stomping Ground Shock. And pass. Do you have a Solitude or Path to Exile? And pass. Land. You could hardcast a Solitude here. Consult, dig 5, pull 1. And there's the Solitude, pitching to Fairy, 1 card in hand. We'll take 7 from the Sire. We'll take 4 down to 21. And we'll draw. Lab. Not exactly what I was hoping for here. I suppose at this point, we can't really avoid it, so we're going to kick Myco and hit Meticulous Archive. Flooded Strand, fetch. Do you have a Consigned Memory as the last card in hand? No, you Surveil first. Okay. I imagine we should probably grab our own Surveil land, honestly. Blue. Floating. District trigger. Wan Shi Tong trigger. Draws a card. There's heat for the Wan Shi Tong, but heat's actually short of Wan Shi. We can take out the White Orchid Phantom, but I think there are better options at this point. And there's the Consign on the body. We'll play the Lab. Surprised they didn't consign the Surveil, honestly. They could have consigned the Surveil and the body. That way I couldn't dig one deeper. Another White Orchid. We'll choose not to search. 1 card in hand. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1 short Emrakul. We can cast everything else in our deck. We'll draw. Speaking of, Devourer. No Imprint. Target Wan Shi Tong and pass. Do you have another Consign? You do not. Wan Shi Tong hits exile. I mean, this is a 2-turn clock on board. We'll pass. Land. Attack for 4 down to 12. We'll draw. Shifting Wood. Unfortunately, we're 1 short. Is this a Consult, dig 5, pull 2? Go to combat. Down to 2. We'll play the Shifting Woodland. There's a non-zero chance we draw into something that adds types to Yard. And we'll pass. White Orchid. It's the Shifting Wood. Blue for Wan Shi Tong. Oh, stops the search. I mean, I'm not searching anyways. You know this, but you redraw a card, I suppose. Can't exactly shock that in. Interesting. Choosing to attack. You shouldn't. Yeah, I was about to say, you should not attack, because it forces you to block. Yeah, you really shouldn't attack at this point. We'll draw. K command. I mean, I think we go for it. The question is, in what way? We, of course, could get rid of a White Orchid Phantom, forcing them to block. I think that probably makes the most sense. So I'm going to Scry Draw Exile, exile a White Orchid. And we at least need to go for 2. And that would leave us with 5. Nothing in our deck would need 5, but I'm thinking 4 should be fine. So X equals 3. And done. There's Heat. There's Emrakul. There's Mycospawn. I mean, Heat can get rid of another White Orchid. We can cast the Mycospawn, but then we will shuffle away the Emrakul. So I'm not really thinking we're going to do that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I guess we could have attacked first. The biggest thing is I don't want to attack first, have them triple block, and then find out that that one card in hand I can sign, because then we get absolutely shafted. So I don't think we should go that route. I think just too dangerous. Versus, as long as we have the Devour on board, we're in a stalemate. The question just is whether or not we want the Heat, or I think we do want the Heat. I think we want the Mycospawn last. Emrakul and Heat. So let's go to attacks. Attack with Devour. You're forced to block. Yep. Do I want to Heat the other one right now? Kind of, yeah. And we'll pass. So now Lethal's on board, and we have an Emrakul primed. What say you, opponent? Three, 4. Is this a consult the star charts? It is a consult, so we're digging 6, pull 2. Such a good card. So you need a blocker, if nothing else. Field of Ruin does force the shuffle. White Orchid. Okay, there's the blocker. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to say no. Unfortunately, we can't play Emrakul next turn, though. Right, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, one short. Go to combat. Swing for 2, or for 6, rather. They're forced to block. So they're on the defensive. And pass. Next turn we can kick Myco. I guess they can force me to shuffle the Myco away, to be fair. 4 mana. Yeah, shuffling the Myco away actually is relevant. Wan Shi Tong for 2. Draws 1. Field of Ruin. Unless you have a Path to Exile. If you have a Path to Exile, we'll choose not to search, allowing us to then kick the field. Fountain tapped, okay. End step, and draw. No reason to cast the Myco now. Let's go to combat. Field. I'll float red just to make you sweat. It will force me to search and fail to find. Wan Shi Tong trigger. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Still one short. We attack. Is this a path to exile? It is. I'll choose not to search. Let's go to second main. I will kick Myco Spawn. Myco Kick hit the fountain. And we will grab Temple. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wan Shi Tong triggers. 2 in hand, we pass. Wan Shi Tong will attack. Down to 7. End step draw. Ugin. Ugin is likely better than the Wan Shi going Emrakul, to be honest. So we are going to cast Ugin. Ugin target Wan Shi Tong. Because this way, if you have no more lies, we win. If you have Consign, we have one more turn. There's Consign. And we'll pass in full. No attacks. Is this a subtlety? Consult. Dig 7, pull 2. How many consigns have we burned through now? Pass. 1, 2, 3 out of 4. Is this a white orchid phantom? Path to exile. We'll choose not to search, of course. We'll go down to 2. End step. And draw. Ice Till. Ice Till is interesting, but we don't really have much in the way of targets in Yard. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 10. No guarantee we hit the 3. Actually, I guess there is. So we could very well go Ice Till, pick up Temple, pick up Lab, and then play the Emrakul. Or I guess pick up Shifting Wood, play the Emrakul. That is a thought. Though, that is only if Ice Till resolves. To be fair, there's no guarantee even Emrakul resolves. I think we go for Emrakul. And the reason being is we do need both land drops, yeah. So if they Solitude it, it would be a problem. So Emrakul, pass in full. Do you have Consigned Memory? No Consigned. You have No More Lies. You do have No More Lies. We cannot pay the 3, but we do get to take control of your turn. So we need some way to deal with the Wan Shi Tong. Second No More Lies in hand. There's Solitude. Let's go! Go to main. Solitude. Exile No More Lies. Trigger target Wan Shi Tong. Evoke trigger, yield all, and we pass, and pass. They're back to 7, but that might be okay. I want you to Field of Ruin me. Do it, do it, do it. Perfect. That is fine. We fail to find, because we have the Ice Till the Shifting Wood. Rumble. So let's start with Rumble then. Rumble. Finds Breaker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll grab the Breaker. Ice Till. We're going to go Shifting, Mill, Temple, Mill, and we will pass and hold. Did we get there, opponent? We had the Shifting, and we got there. Solid win. Woo! All right. Well, we'll be back for match number 2. All right. And we're back for match 2 on the play for game 1. We'll keep it. We have 11 hits off top for Cake Medics 2-on-2. We have another 9 hits off top for Rumble. So we really have 20 hits here on our first draw on turn 2. So we're going to go Temple. And at worst comes to worst, we can always Cake Medics 1-on-2, which is not the best, but certainly not the end of the world either. So we can make it work. We can make it work indeed. What are we thinking here, opponent? Supposedly they're on Affinity, though that was roughly 6 days ago. Looks like they are on the Salvage Titan version if so that is something to keep a note of. But looks like opponent may have stepped away from keyboard, so we're going to pause the recording and return once they've passed priority. Alright, opponent passed priority, kept a 6-card hand. We'll play the Temple and pass. Hold up the Cake Medic 0 on the off chance it's relevant. Only way I can see it being relevant is if they try and go for, I don't know, a Kappa on one. Which, I mean, wouldn't be the first time that's happened. In fact, it's a bit more common than I would like. Opponent is tinkin' with the knowledge of an Eldrazi temple. What you tinkin' about, friend? You either think, or rather thinking hard or hardly thinking, not sure which. I guess also the third option is duo queuing, but we'll have to wait and see. Regardless, I suppose we'll once again pause the recording and be back once opponent has passed priority. Alright, and opponent's back on their main. What are we playing against opponent? Let's see. Again, we have the Cake Medic 0 on the off chance that we need to cast it. The only time I think that would be necessary is if we think that there's going to be a Kappa on turn 1. Though I'm hard-pressed to think that is going to happen. But we'll see. It's not outside the realm of possibility. It would need, what? Pinnacle Emissary, Opal, and a handful of 0 casts? Or 0 costs, rather. And there's a canal. Definitely looking like Affinity at a glance. It is a Pinnacle Emissary, from the looks of things. There's the Pinnacle Emissary. Okay. There's the Opal. Oh no. That is 3. White. Spell Bomb. Okay, so unless they have another Opal, I don't think they can Kappa. So that should be fine. I definitely would like to see a fetch or a stomping ground on my draw, though. That way we can get to Rumble and K return. Pinnacle Emissary trigger resolves, Spellbomb resolves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for next turn. If they have a land in the Kappa, that would be a bit frightening. I'm kind of tempted the K command for 0 and scry draw, exile a drone, honestly. I think I might do that. I don't like that I think I might have to do it, but I think it is right. And done. Gemstone, you're a bit late, friend. We'll draw. Devourer, of course. We find that after we cast the K command. Maybe I should have waited. I guess we could have waited, theoretically. Of course, then if we draw into the green source, then we would have not wanted to wait, so give and take, I suppose. Regardless, we will Lab, Imprint, Devourer. Both Lab and Gemstone were actually late, or not Lab, Devour and Gemstone were late back to back. I'm hoping that delayed them a turn for the Kappa. Drone will attack down the 19, so no Kappa here, I don't imagine. There is a Saga trigger. Paying cost for Pinnacle Emissary. And there's the Pinnacle Emissary from Warp. And we'll draw. There's Talisman. We'll play the Talisman. The question now becomes, do I play the K return or do we go for Rumble? We also could go Myco Spawn, actually. That is another thought. Going Myco Spawn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They didn't play 1, 2, 3, 4. The other option is a K return, I suppose. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Awkward, awkward, awkward is what it is. I also want to get rid of that Saga as well. There's so much I want to do, is the problem. I mean, we could hit them with Ghost Core to get rid of the Saga so they can't make a construct. I'm not too pressed about that. We could K return to get rid of a drone, and that would leave them at 5, short 1 cap unless they have a land. So I don't think that's a great play. So we either go Mega Spawn or Rumble, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'm going to... Let's go Gemstone. Let's cast the Myco. Yield all. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is neutral, so we'd only need to hit 3 for Emrakul. We're going to go Temple then, and pass. And pass. Next turn we can kick the Myco, hit the Saga if worst comes to worst. Do you have the Kappa is the question of the day. Tharia's, you had the lands. The K return, in fact, was not the right play. 2 Weapons Factory. And there's the weapons. Okay. Opal. Trigger, trigger. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you still have enough for Kappa. Do you have the Kappa is the question. Attack with a drone, that's fine. And second main, end step, interesting. We'll draw another temple. Well, in that case, we'll play the temple. Let's kick the Myco. Myco kick at the Saga. We'll make a construct, sure. Yield all. It is a 7/7. Not thrilled about that prospect. Do we want to rumble and or K return? We'll grab a fetch. If I K return next turn, it would take out the construct, as we're going to get rid of the drones as well. Well, I guess if we K return now, it shrinks the construct. I think that might not be a bad idea. So fetch shock? Or we just shock in? I think I want to fetch shock. Fetch. Shock. And K return. Get rid of the drone, shrink the construct. If they really want to attack into it, we can double block. And we'll pass. 3 types in yard. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Emrakul's primed. I suppose they could spell bomb. That's fine. Construct will grow up to an 8/8. That's fine though. There's a Kappa. The problem is Kappa will be bigger than the K return. Yes. And that is a problem because the weapons is on enters, so it's going to be a 6/6. I truly do hate that Kappa triggered itself. It's kind of ridiculous, honestly. 11/11. I will block. How would we like to proceed? We draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One short of getting rid of the Kappa. When we sweep the board, this will be a -4 down to 7 with 5 damage on it. Let us start with Rumble then. See if we can find an Emrakul potentially. Because again, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 will Rumble. There's a second K return. That will in fact work. So do you want to grab a lab or do you want to grab a sprawl? Doesn't technically matter. We'll go grab a lab though. And we will go to combat. Attack with Myco. Down to 16. Return Devour to hand. And we'll cast Devourer of Destiny. So K return, K return. I want to exile the weapons. Yield all. You have nothing in hand. You could draw off the spell bomb, I suppose. But everything but the Devourer will be cleared. So we should be good in that regard. I can fetch Surveil. Yep, weapons out. 1. And 2. Spellbomb grabs back the Kappa. Well, that is annoying. I'll say no to the K return then. Windswept Teeth and pass. And hold. You do have enough for the Kappa. No, it's only a 5/5 right now. No response. Makes it a 6/6. So we're going to go to End Step Surveil. Surveil, what do we find? K command. Kappa 6, 8, 12, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. K command top. I will start to see if you want to trade. Down to 9. So let's confirm the numbers one more time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lab. Before the imprint, we'll scry draw exile the kappa. It is ward 4. And done. Yield all. Yes. Kappa down. I don't want anything but the breaker. Breaker top and draw. And we'll say no imprint and pass. Next turn, this also means we can sweep the board of K return if they somehow build up some more board presence. Thought cast draw 2. Saga. We can break the Saga. Islet draw a card. Passing. We'll draw. Myco spawn. Myco kick. Hit the Saga. And opponent scoops it up. We'll take the win. Woo! That was a close one, friends, but we got there. So we're going to bring in Dismember, Fade, Vexing Bauble. We are going to trim out the Rumble, Ice Till 6, Emrakul, and Ghost Quarter and run it back. We didn't see Emery, but looking at their list... Actually, looking at their list, they don't play Emery. But they do play Salvage Titan. So, give and take on that one. I think we probably could drop a Jukabog. This is early acceleration. We'll keep it. We'll pass. Sporific Springs Bolt. Pinnacle Emissary. There's the Pinnacle Emissary. Memnite. EE0. So it definitely looks like they're setting up for Kappa on 2. We'll draw. Rumble. We'll go Sprawl for green and pass and pass. So I think what I might need to do here is set up for the Emrakul. Blue. Springleaf. And that is neutral for the Kappa. Yep, there's the Kappa on 2 because, you know, that's what Affinity does. There's Kappa. Trigger. 1 card in hand. It is a Bauble trigger. Interesting that they would choose to do that, but I guess they have the Pinnacle Emissary next turn regardless. So Kappa should be able to attack in unfettered. Bauble trigger. We'll draw. Wooded Foothill. Let's start with Temple. Rumble. Grab Devourer. Though I guess Devour's a type-in yard, right? So let's take a look here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're getting close, but not close enough. I will choose... I guess if we get to 11, we could go Devourer. So I guess we'll grab the Devourer after all. And then Sprawl. 4 red. And pass. Because right now, how much mana are we sitting at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so if we can make it 2 turns, then we have something. Is this the Pinnacle Emissary? It is the Pinnacle Emissary from Exile, trigger. That's what we thought. So we're looking at 9 to 11. It's not looking good. Memnite. So that's going to push us down to 9, which means Kappa attacking is lethal. Tormod's Crypt, so kind of short on the Emrakul line. So this is 11. I'm surprised they didn't hold the Tormod's Crypt a turn. But it might not matter, unfortunately. Take the hit down to 7. Temple. So we need to be able to block the Kappa plus, but they could always... Actually, I guess they can't EE. So my thought process here is to go Temple. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3 short. So in that case, we go Myco kick, hit the Fiery Islet, and then just pray that we can block the Kappa. 1 too many. Myco kick the Islet, yield all. Yeah, because if they held the Tormod's Crypt, funny enough, then they would have guaranteed the win next turn, but they chose not to. We're gonna go Temple. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I mean, we can exile the Kappa next turn, but I'm pretty sure we just die to the drones is the problem. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I might actually want to go Commercial District and in the vain hope that we mill over a turn. But I guess then they have the Tormod's Crypt, so it's actually not that good. We'll go Temple. Well, let's go Temple and pass. And we hope we get a turn. Not looking good, though. We'll pass in full. The combat, so we do get a turn. So we block and block. 4, 5, 6, down to 1. Down to 1. Steam Vents tapped. We draw. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Six, 9. Play the lab. No imprint. I don't know why they didn't Tormod's Crypt me this entire time. Because that is exactly 13. Like, I was worried there that they were going to Tormod's Crypt on the trigger, but they opted not to. And this means we can EE, clear their dorks, attack them with the Kappa. Yeah, a bit late on that Tormod's Crypt, friend. Just saying. We'll draw. There's Metallic Rebuke. Rebuke is fine. So first off and foremost, we're going to cast or activate EE for 0, which clears the drones and the Memnites. So those are out. And then we go to combat. Attack with a Kappa. We'll block. We'll pass. Leaving just the Pinnacle Emissary. Next turn we have Devour and the K command. They have Rebuke. Let's be mindful of that fact, though. So they have a Rebuke. Paying cost for Pinnacle Emissary Warp is fine. Because we can block the drone. They do still have enough for Rebuke. Need to be mindful of that. So, how do we want to proceed here? My thought process is we can K command exile the drone. That leaves us back with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I guess we could have actually blocked. Yeah, looking back, I did forget about that. We could have blocked the Pinnacle Emissary with Mycospawn instead of the spawn. That is right, yeah. That would have led to an empty board with just the Pinnacle Emissary and Warp, so that actually is a misplay on my part. I will agree to that. So we can Devour the Pinnacle Emissary. We can't attack with Emrakul then. So I think we just K command exile the drone. Scry draw exile the drone to start. And that leaves us with 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll go one further. It was 2, 4, 7. Exile the drone. Do you want to rebuke it? You will not. Stomping ground. And then we will exile Pinnacle Emissary. So you can rebuke the body, but not the trigger. Yep, we'll say no. Yeah, we definitely made this a little bit more difficult for ourselves making that mistake, but now they're at 2, and I don't think they can I don't think they can haste something to hit me for 1, so I think this is lethal. I think we're good. We got there. All right. I mean, honestly, we should not have won this game rather. Had opponents paid attention to the number of types in Yard plus my mana, they could have very easily activated the Tormod's Crypt in response to the trigger of the Ugin's Lab, and they opted not to, for whatever reason. I'm not going to be upset about it because I got the win for it. But opponent definitely misplayed there. To be fair, I also misplayed. I definitely should have blocked the Pinnacle Emissary with the Mycospawn rather than the spawn. I honestly can't remember my rationale. I think it was just at that point relieved that we even got another turn. So happy that we were able to get that far. That being said, though, we'll be back for match number 3. All right, and we're back for match number 3 on the draw for game 1. All right. Arid Mesa, passing, Devourer. 1, 2, 3. I'm thinking we go Wooded Foothill here. The speaker does represent 4, so this would be 5. I still think we want to go for a Wooded Foothill here. We'll draw. So we're going to go Forest, Sprawl, greener for red. I'm thinking we go for red regardless. Opponent is Tinkin. I mean, the only thing I could think of here is a Force, but no Force, no Spell Pierce. We'll pass. Arid Mesa fetch for Meticulous Archive. Okay. Meticulous Archive. Could still be Blink. Raft the Skies. Looking like Blink then. We'll pass. If they hold up for mana for Felia, we're going to have to hold up the K return. Yep. Rumble. I will play the Wooded Foothill or Sanctum. Let's play the Wooded Foothill. This way, if they don't, then we can go for a Surveil land. They are playing 4 Consign main. Kinda hate that. Fetch 18. Steam Vent Shock 16. And there's Felia in response. I will grab, I think I'm going to go Stomping Ground. The reason why they also play Prismatic Ending. So Stomping Ground Shock. Felia enters and K return pass. And pass. Sacred Foundry, Shock 14. We'll draw. Talisman. I will play Talisman. Does Talisman resolve? Paying cost for consigned memory? Sure. Sanctum. Rumble. Shifting Wood, Sprawl. I'll grab Shifting Wood rather than the Misty. 6 types in Yard. We'll pass. I guess I should hold in the off chance they have a Discharge here. What are we thinking here? 4 cards in hand. Next turn we can Speaker. If we find a soul land, we can Devour. There's Felia. Not thrilled about that. Do you have a Riddler? You don't have anything that's a shifting target, unfortunately. There's the Riddler. Warp Trigger. Draws a card. Scouting Tarn for turn. 3 in hand. Felia will attack and flicker, or rather blink, flicker the Riddler, not blink it. Yep, that's fine. No blocks. If I can find a temple off top, that would be great. That way we can Devour the Riddler, clear the Felia. Otherwise, we'll go Speaker next turn. Paying cost, ending. We'll sack in response. Surprised you didn't go for the Sprawl instead, honestly. Yield all. Draw a card. Up to 3. End step and draw. Ugin. Hello, Ugin. Oh, we're going to start with Riddler. Not Riddler, Speaker. Jesus Christ. Think about Riddler, how to get rid of that. Do I want to pitch anything? I'm thinking we drop Speaker. Yeah? Yeah, drop the Speaker and grab what? I'm thinking Myco Spawn, but at the same time, Ice Till seems appealing. The reason why I think Ice Till over Myco is simply because it can't get countered by Consign. So I think we're going to go Ice Till, Shifting, and pass. So I need either Actually, any untapped land gets me to Ugin, but I would like the Devour to clear the board. And steps, Scouting Tarn, fetch 13. Elegant Parlor, Surveil. Okay. Ragavan to yard. We'll pass in full. Yeah, so any colorless land gets the Devour, any land gets the Ugin. Goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We find a land. Paying cost for Flage. Flage Helix target. Target speaker, so you have a discharge in hand. There's the discharge. So we're going to take 7 down to 8. I guess you could blink my Sprawl, but there's no point in doing that. Though they actually do have lethal on board. Maybe the Micah Spawn would have been the right move, because now I kind of wish I had a Bajuka Bog. Because, yeah, we're dead on board as it stands. Yep. 7, 10. I will draw. So what I'd really love to see here is a soul land. So temple or lab. You know, that works too. So in that case, this gives us a potential turn at the very least, if nothing else. So I guess we should play around Solitude and go Bajuka Bog first. Bajuka Bog, target you. And then we Ice Till. I will say the only thing is I actually can't fetch because we'll be at 7. So I guess I will do that. Breaker to yard. And I suppose we'll pass in full since we're not fetching here. And if they have another Flage in hand, they win. Attacking. Fire flickers the Ice Till. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Paying cost. For Flage. We'll concede. Alright. Unfortunate. So, for this matchup, we bring in the Heat. We cut the K returns. I'm pretty sure I bring in Dismembers as well, but let me take a look at my sideboard guide. We don't see too much Blink as of recent, but against Blink, K return out, Heat in. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And then trim the Gemstone, run it back. We don't need Bauble, we don't need Trinisphere, we don't need Flute. Yep, run it back like this. Opponent's sideboard does consist of 3 Charmaws, Wear Tear, Damp Sphere, Strict Serenade. Overall, I don't mind this matchup. Unfortunately, our opponent just kind of got ahead of us a bit quicker with the double Felia. If it was just the one Felia, we got rid of it with a K return, but the second Felia kind of cost us. Opponent will be boarding Charmaw, but I'm not too worried about that. They should be boarding in 3 Charmaw, 1 Wear Tear, 1 Damp Sphere, and maybe 2 Strict Serenade. That is likely what they're boarding in here. So we keep the Ice Tills in. Because we can fight through Charmaw just fine. Of course, if we don't sequence our lands correctly, they can definitely get it out a bit faster, but thankfully we can play around Charmaw pretty strategically. Opponent's thinking hard here on the sideboard, though. Boarding out. I mean, they keep consign. I imagine they board out. What? Discharge, maybe? Wrath Disguise, maybe? Fable, potentially? At the very least, they bring in 3, 4, 5, maybe 7? So I'd say between 6 to 7 cards in. Because Discharge doesn't really clear too much in our deck, shy of a Myco spawn. Because everything else is X4 or above, so I think they definitely should cut Discharge. That should be 4. Prismatic Ending's still not bad. Wrath is kind of meh, though. I'm not sure if they want Wrath. And then I could see an argument for cutting Breaker, but not entirely certain. I think cutting Ragavans would be a mistake. I know that some people do, though. My deck list has been submitted. Okay, I was about to say, his opponent not going to sideboard. On the play for game 2. No green sources makes this pretty sketchy. Otherwise, I would keep. I think I have to mulligan here. We'll mulligan. This looks much better. The only problem I see here is we can't devour her. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. We could hold up K command, or we can just speaker. So I think I pitched the Talisman or Devour. I'll pitch the Talisman. I will not reveal Devourer because we want to ramp into either K command or speaker. We might actually potentially pitch Devour to speaker, in fact. Nope. We'll draw Wooded Foothill Fetch for a forest. Sprawl for green. And pass. And pass. Arid Mesa. Passing draw. Ice Still's pretty good. Temple. Speaker. Does Speaker resolve? Or do you have a Strict Serenade? Speaker trigger. Do I pitch the Devourer? I think I might. Devourer. I'm going to grab a Myco spawn and pass. So I didn't want to reveal Devourer because if you're going to fetch, it shuffles away our top, and I wanted to accelerate. Especially if we can play this Ice Till on 3 would be nice. If we draw into a land, we can kick Myco Spawn. We'll draw. Ghost Quarter. So now we have some interesting thoughts here. Do we want to play around Ophelia? I kind of do. So I think we just Ghost Quarter and then pass. Yeah? Because we could Ice Till, land, untap Temple. No. So I guess we could tap, untap, 2-4, 1-2. No. So we'll play the Ghost Quarter and we'll pass, hold the K command. If they don't play the Felia, then we can use K command as permission for the kicked Myco. And step. Because Felia is always the biggest threat in this matchup, especially in the early turns. In the later turns, I care less about it, but in the early turns, Felia is always the problem card. Surveil. Okay. So if they do have a Felia, they're sandbagging it to play around the K command for sure. Would make sense to me. If they have another red source, they could Charmaw here, but I'm not too pressed about that. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. And K command X equals 4. So if they tap out, that's good for me. And there's Steam Vent Shock 16. No tap out. End step. So we're going to tap, untap, and K command ramp scry draw. Let's grab that consign out of your hand. Again, we're going to use this K command as permission if nothing else. Show me the consign. Paying cost. There it is. Okay. And we'll draw. Breaker. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many basics do you run? You run 4. So I'm not pressed to go for the Ghost Quarter Loops here. I think instead we go one of two routes. We either Ice Till Ramp or we might go Kick. Ice Till Ramp or Myco Kick. Again, 2, 4, 5, 6. I think I want a Myco Kick, especially as we did use K command as permission. So we will tap, untap, Myco Kick. Myco Kick a red source. I'm going to say let's go for the Steam Vents here. Do you have a second consign? You do not have a second consign. You don't have a Felia either. I mean, if you have another red source, you can go for Charma regardless. So I think just go for another Temple here. It would make sense to me. We'll pass and pass. 2, 4, 7. Next turn we can Breaker. And knowing they don't have a consign to memory, we're in a good spot. Another K command as well. In that case, so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 minus 2 would be 6. We're short on Ice Stone to Breaker. So I think we will start by going to combat. Attacking for 5. Down to 11. And we will cast Breaker. Breaker break the falls and pass. Methinks opponent has a handful of nothing. Definitely looking like a win here in game 2. Opponent agrees. Let's bring in Gemstone, trim the Rumble, and run it back. Yeah, teasing out that consigned memory was definitely the right choice for sure. Now it comes down to game 3, and we'll have to see if they have an early start of a Ragavan, for example. Because if so, that's where this matchup becomes a bit trickier. It's like a turn 1 Ragavan or turn 2 Felia into a turn 3 Riddler. Like when they have the smooth lines, that's when the matchup becomes a bit more trickier, but I feel like overall, the unfortunate truth about playing Consign in this deck is that you're often delaying your game plan by a turn or 2, and it just is not conducive to the mid-range game plan that you want to be playing. I imagine it'll be on the draw for game 3. Hand's a bit slow. Opponent starts with 7. Makes me a bit worried about this hand. What can we draw to make this hand better on 1? I would say Sprawl and Temple, but that's about it. And even the Temple's a little bit meh. So it really is just Sprawl here. Otherwise, we're kind of just going Rumble into 2, maybe Speaker into 3. I think we mulligan this one. If only there was a green source here, I'd say yes. Now, of course, we could draw into a green source. It'd be 9 hits. 9 hits for a green source. The odds aren't bad, but they're not great either. It's tempting. Because it's a Myco on 2, or a 6 on 2. We drop Ugin, we keep Heat. It's not the worst hand that I've kept in the world. I'm just not necessarily a big fan of it either. Because even if we see a green source, this heat's offline unless it's a stomping ground or a fetch, which really means we have 6 hits instead of 9. We might want to mulligan again. Alright, let's mulligan one more time. This hand, however, hello. So we keep 5, yes. The question now is what we pitch. So we're looking at gemstones. Really put this down to 4. So I'm trying to think here. Stomping Sanctum, Speaker Pitch, Devour Pitch. But what do we... No, I think actually we have to pitch Myco. Yeah, I think I have to pitch Myco here. So we can go Gemstone, Devour. Yeah. Okay, I have an idea. I have ideas. Reveal, play, exile, pass. I mean, yes, in the last hand we could name red for Sprawl. The only downside of that is that since we're on the draw, we would not have been able to cast heat into their Thalia on my end step. And that would have been an issue. Hence why the last hand was a bit sketched about, but they have a slow start from Elegant Parlor Surveil. Devour trigger. K Command Temple. I mean, I kind of want the K command here. This means we need to find another... I guess we don't need to find another color source. We just need to make sure the spawn survives a turn. Yeah, we'll go K command. We'll draw. No reason to play the Sanctum right now. So we'll go Stomping Ground tapped. Rumble. Rumble finds Temple. Grab Temple. Perfect. We pass. So now K command's online. We hold in case they discharge the spawn. We do still need to find some good top decks here. Breaker and Yard is a nice +1 for later. Of course, we need 10 mana to cast it on the same turn. Then we can always do something on end step as well. Four Typed in Yard is also nice, means that shifting is live. Going to pay cost for... or not. What this? Ragavan? Ragavan will dash. I mean, I will block this all day long. Go to blocks, we block. Ragavan dashes back to hand, we draw. Wooded Foothill. They currently lack blue sources, so I'm thinking I'm going to K-Command Ramp and Scry draw while shields are down. And done. Talisman Forest, bottom, draw. Yeesh. Pass. Hold. We still have our Surveil land in deck, so we can Surveil next turn if nothing else. Given how they dashed the Ragavan, I'm starting to think that might be short blue. We'll see, though. Mountain. Definitely short on blue. Dash the Rag. Honestly, I'm surprised you don't just haste the Rag with the Arena of Glory at this point. Keep it on board. We will 1000% block. End step. Dash the Rag back. Yep. And draw. Talisman. For Christ's sake. Can I draw into a card, please? I will cast Talisman. Verdant Cat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now. So we can't go Breaker next turn. I guess we could Surveil before the Ragavan. Or before we declare blockers. Yeah, that could be interesting. Do you have a discharge here by chance? No discharge. If you have another land, you could hasten a charm. I'll hit my temple, which would be less than ideal. If you do that, I'm tempted to recall the Breaker from Yard. Thing is, Breaker's pretty far off. Especially if they hit our temple. Dashing the Ragavan again? Sure, sure. Land. So you found your blue source after all. We're going to go to blocks. We're blocking. Before damage, though, I'm going to fetch Surveil. Unholy Heat. Heat's not bad here. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're still short. So yeah, I'll keep the Heat on top. We'll take the... If the Ragavan will connect with the spawn, we can heat it next turn. End step, dash. We'll draw. Heat. I will go with Wooded Foothill. No reason to discount the Charmal any more than it already is. We'll hold the Heat. Now, of course, if I could just draw into some threats here, that'd be pretty nice. Let's be honest here. Imagine you fetch Surveil on end step, or do you have Ophelia? Interesting. Holding the Arid Mesa, which tells me they have Consign in hand. That is what that tells me. Do you dash the Ragavan again, since that's kind of been all you've been doing? There's the dash. Beginning of combat. We shall heat the rag. Go to second main. You got anything else in store for me, friend? Do I want to fetch here? I don't think I do. I think we go to end step. Rag dash. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Chances are they do have a Consign in hand, but I think that's fine. So 1, 2, 3. Sack the Wooded Foothill. Breaker to hand. So we're going to have 3... 2 triggers and the Breaker on the stack, and they only have 2 lands. We'll draw 6. Ooh. 6 is interesting. And it doesn't get countered by the Consign either. So now I'm tempted to play 6 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are short on the Devourer, though. Interesting. 6 or Breaker. 6, 7, or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Again, if we're assuming Consign, which seems to be what they have, then we kind of want to play the 6 instead of the Breaker, would be my thought. And we'll keep the Sanctum back to make them think that we have K command potentially still. I will cast 6. Yes. Do you have a Strict Serenade? Alright. No reason to play the Sanctum. I will pass and hold. And hold. Yeah, that Arid Mesa not being cracked at all just screams to me they have Consign. Flood Strand, though, now means that they can start advancing their board state again, not play so defensively. So now if we draw into a land, we can devour Ur if needed. One's paying cost, what for? I mean, you have the mana for Charmaw. Arid Mesa fetch. I imagine you leave the Flooded Strand or you don't activate that Flooded Strand, rather. Steam Vent Shock down to 17, sure. You could hardcast a Solitude here. There's a Charma, but opting not to haste it. Interesting. You'll hit the Temple. At least I'd imagine so. We'll float it in response. I guess they don't want the 6 to attack. That's fine. We'll phase change. We'll draw. Speaking of temples. So, do we have anything? The only thing I can retrace is its Devourer, and again, they do have Consign in hand. That much is almost certain. I will play the Sanctum of Ugin, hold the Temple, and pass. No reason to attack into the Charmaw. And we hold. Next turn we can Breaker, another Flooded Strand. And there's Teferi, gonna bounce 6, I'd imagine. Bounces a Talisman, we'll float in response. Why not bounce 6 though? Kinda confused about that one. I mean, yes, it does cut me short on mana. I guess it cuts me short on Breakers, their thought process. If you attack, it tells me you have some way to deal 6. If you don't, you don't. Okay, so you don't have a way to deal 6. That's fine. We'll draw. Emrakul. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, let's start by playing Talisman. See if you want to consign it. Flooded Strand, fetch 16. Island. Sure enough, there's a consign. Yep. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'll play the Temple, and I will pass. So they either have consigns and multiples. If they don't fetch the Flooded Strand, they have another consign in hand. Yep, so they have another consign in hand, is what that tells me. Land for turn. Teferi plus. No, it's not an EFM. They have multiple consigns. It's the only reason why they're holding this Flooded Strand. You can tell very clearly when opponents are holding consigns based on whether or not they fetch or when they can't hold up a blue source otherwise. We know for a fact they don't have don't have EFM, otherwise they would be blinking this Charma all day. 2, 4, 5, 6. One short for Breaker. I'd love to see a Heat then to get rid of this Charma, I suppose. We could use a land to bait out another consign for Breaker. I also would love to see, I guess, Ice Till. Ice Till would be very nice right now. Paying cost for a Ragavan, that's fine. Not dashing this time, 3 in hand. Oh, what this? Damping Sphere. Damping Sphere is relevant, yeah. Paying cost again. Now you're going to get taxed, though. Why not play whatever you're going to play before the Damping Sphere? Opponent messed that one up. Do you attack? You shouldn't. Attacking here would not be right, because then we get to dig for more lands. So now we're at 5. We draw. Formidable Speaker. Let us cast Formidable Speaker. The Speaker resolves. Speaker resolves. We'll pitch the Breaker then. And we'll grab an Ice Till Explorer. And we'll pass. No attacks from 6. Next turn we can Ice Till and start ramping. Scouting Tarn fetch. Surveil. And they can hold up blue sources at this point, so they have no reason not to fetch their Flooded Strand. So one of those two cards at the very least is Consign. Fable to Yard. Flooded Strand fetch. Yep. Surveil. Arid Mesa to Yard. Or actually, no, keeps it on top. Oh, they put Arid Mesa to Yard. I was right. Okay. 3 in hand. Again, one's Consign. So 2 unknowns. 1 unknown to Fairy Plus. Paying cost hasting. What are we hasting here, friend? You forgot one important thing. That Damp Sphere says that Arena of Glory only generates colorless. So this could be a Charmal, I suppose. Though it only costs 3. So what this? I guess you could still haste a Charmal. Riddler. You could have hasted the Riddler, yeah? Draw 2, but opted not to. So again, they have at least 1 Consign, 2 unknowns. They can start attacking with Charmal. We will not block. We'll go down to 13. Strict Serenade would be a bit of an issue. We'll draw. Stomping Ground. We do want to play around a... Well, actually, no, I don't. No, I want to hold this for the retrace, actually. So, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1 short. So we are going to cast Ice Till. Does Ice Till resolve? Ice Till resolves. We will grab Temple Mill. Ghost Quarter Mill. Because I don't really have much in the reason to fetch here, I don't think. Yep, so Ghost Quarter Mill. Another Temple for later. So again, it is likely that our opponent does have Consign in hand. We could attack both at Tef, but I don't think that would be wise. We'll pass. The question is whether or not we have enough time to retrace this Emrakul potentially multiple times. This Damping Sphere actually does hurt us a bit. Felia. Oof. Felia is a problem. Keeping the Arid Mesa up. I mean, they can't attack with Felia freely, but they could flicker the 6, so that way I can't block. But they might as well bounce it back with Tef as well. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 mana. It's not enough for a double cast, though. Unfortunately, I think opponent might have us here if this 1 Consign in hand. I guess we could, yeah, I guess there would have been merit for Ghost Quartering the Arena. That is actually something to have considered there, I suppose. So the question now becomes, do we block with the 6? Because next turn they'll just bounce with the Tef or Flicker Ophelia. So I think we have to block with 6, which kind of sucks. But I think it might be correct. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but correct. Take 4 down to 9. At least this way we're not dead next turn. Sans a Flage. Down to 9. Land for turn to Fairy Plus. End step. We could return Breaker, sack a land, and then Breaker to try and bait out the Consign. That is an idea. Though they even care about Breaker, probably not in the grand scheme. Because they can Flicker Breaker. We block, we take... I guess they also can Flicker Breaker, bounce. So that's not exactly a good solution either. Oof. Oh, this is tricksy, ain't it? Because we're assuming they have Consign, and I'm pretty sure they do based on how they're playing. Yeah, I think we have to just play Emrakul, unfortunately. Alright, we'll draw. Forest, ain't doing much. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was thinking, like, could we Ghost Quarter out all their blue sources? Maybe. But unfortunately, I think they have 4, and I can only Ghost Quarter 3 times as it stands. Because, yeah, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Not to mention we'd be 1 short if we went that route, unless we milled over an Ugin. Or, yeah, I guess it would only be Ugin to get us to 7, or a Sprawl. So, unfortunately, we don't have enough, because, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can only do it 3 times. Sanctum getting another... Like, at the end of the day, here's the bottom line. If this Emrakul does not resolve, we lose. Yeah, it doesn't matter. If this Emrakul does not resolve, we lose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We should play Temple Mill. Okay, let's go for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just checking if there's anything else that I'd want to play off the Sanctum. I don't think there is. Emrakul. Triggers. Yield all. Show me the Consign. You've been positioning a Consign this entire time. I'm pretty sure you have it. Paying cost. And... what is this? What is this? You're tapping. What's happening? Is this a Solitude? I don't care about Solitude. That's fine. We go up to 22. Basically starting the game again in our favor. If you have a Consign, play the Consign. There's the Consign. I'll concede. I'll concede. Unfortunate. I mean, I feel like we played that correctly. They telegraphed the Consign, we played around the Consign, we used our colored spells to play through it. Unfortunately, they just grew enough of a board state through our interaction that we just could not recover. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. We'll be back for match number 4. Alright, and we're back for match 4 on the draw for game 1. We'll pass, Flooded Strand, pass, draw, K return. Shock, Sprawl for green. And pass. Suppose your opponent's on Blink. We'll see. Surveil. Thundering Falls is definitely in their Blink list. We'll pass. Next turn we could Myco Spawn. 3 Consign main. White Source, Riddler, Warp, Draw. That's fine. That suggests that they don't have too much in hand. We'll draw. 6 is interesting. The question now becomes whether or not I want to go Speaker or Miko Spawn. I think I want to go Speaker here. We'll cast Speaker. Speaker pitch. What? Our casting window and Talisman's pretty much long gone, so we'll pitch the Talisman. What do we grab? I think we could go for another Myco Spawn, honestly. Could go for another Myco Spawn, because next time we have a Myco Kick. Then we can Myco Kick again. If they counter, we have 6. Alternatively, we could go Ice Till and Myco Kick and then Fetch. It's a thought. And then potentially mills over cards for 6. Both are thoughts, but I think we go Myco Kicks. And we'll pass. And pass. What say you, opponent? Because now if they know we have Myco Spawn, if we have a land we can kick, so they have to then debate whether or not they want to hold for Consign. Sacred Foundry Shock 16 for... Is it a Flage? There'd be no reason to play a Flage into a Myco, which hits a Bajuka Bog. Fable? Fable's fine. So this tells me they don't have Consign in hand. We'll draw. So we are going to go tap, untap, lab, no imprint, done, Myco Kick. Actually, pause and think. So if you pitch 2, pitch, let's say, 2 Flage, fetch. Well, that does complicate things now, doesn't it? We could Myco K return, get rid of the Goblin Shaman, but that doesn't actually solve the issue. So yeah, I think we just Myco Kick. Alright. I had to think there for a second. Because yeah, if they fetch, then it doesn't really matter. So we get rid of double red, double white. So we get rid of red, white. And that forces them to attack in with a Goblin Shaman, yeah? They do have a basic mountain, 2 basic plains. We could go for a Ghost Quarter, theoretically. Alternatively, could Bajuka Bog early, stopping Flage. That's also an option. Because, again, they pitch, fetch, and then attack, and then they'd be able to play Flage. Because we don't exactly have a solution to Flage right now. So I'm thinking we might want to Bajuka Bog and get ahead of Flage. Yes, let's do that. We're going to Bajuka Bog, get ahead of Flage, and pass. I don't like it, but I think it's correct. We'll pass. So next time we can kick Myco again. Show me the Flage. Show me that is correct my play. Yep. Show me a fetch. Do it. Show me the fetch. Was I correct my play? Arena of Glory? I mean, they wouldn't have been able to haste it, but pretty damn close. Another Flage. Okay. Again, double red, double white. Might go out. Attack of Goblin. We'll draw. Talisman. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. -5, 3. So we should be able to tap, untap. Is this green green? No, we want green red. Myco Kick. Myco Kick Arena or Thundering Falls. I mean, this takes them off of blue. Mind you, they do have the treasure. I'm thinking we drop the Arena, but the blue is also nice. I'll go with the blue source, yeah. No Consign. We can at this point go Temple. We go more Temple at this point. Yes, we'll go more Temple. Play Lab. No Imprint. And K return. Get rid of the Goblin and pass. And pass. Fable flip, that's fine. You're taking them off of blue. Except for the treasure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Actually, no, 13. So we have Emrakul. We can play everything in our deck right now. And they don't have Consign. I guess we could have waited a turn to K return theoretically, but I didn't want them generating more mana. Second Arena tap since they don't have control of Mountain. We'll draw. Gemstone. Actually, I was about to say, Gemstone doesn't do too much here, but actually, that does a lot. So we're going to go green, green, 1, 2. We're going to cast 6. Does 6 resolve? Blue. Strict Serenade. Freaking rude. Sure. We get a bird. I'll play the Talisman. No reason to play the Gemstone then. We'll go to combat and swing for 5. I don't imagine you block. You do. Ephem, Fable. So now you can pitch more cards. Okay, that actually is relevant. Ephem, Rebound. So now you can pitch more cards to Flage, yeah, and even haste it. Yeah, I was really hoping for that 6 so I could hit their white source out, but no such luck. Strict Serenade main. They're 1 of 2. Solitude Plains. Do you have a land for the Hasty Flage? You need a white source. You do find it. So now I can Hasty Flage and hit me for 11 down to 5. He looks the bird. Yep, Hasty Flage time. Not much I can do, so we're going to pass in full. Flage, he looks the bird. Attack for 11, down to 5. They're up to 20. I mean, an Ugin, Emrakul, Devourer would be pretty good right now. I make a treasure as well. And draw. There's Emrakul. Question of the day, do you have a Strict Serenade? So, do we want to sweep the board of the Goblin Shamans? The question. I don't think we need to do that. So in that case, we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We will cast the Emrakul. K return triggers, yield all. You have another Strict Serenade or a Consign. No Consign on the trigger. K return, no. Emrakul. So in that case, we will... I'm trying to think here. No reason to attack. Solitude. Well, that's fun. Felia, even better. Oh, everything's coming up my way now. So, what can we do here? There's also a Riddler. So if we attack with Flage, we can Helix the Reflections, block and block. We can then Riddler, and then, unfortunately, no, we'd only draw one, and then we Solitude the Riddler. Yes, that looks good to me. Let's go to combat. Go to attacks. Attack and attack. Flage, Goblin Shaman, Flage trigger, target the reflections of Kiki Jiki. Yield all, yield all. We then go to blocks. We block, we block. Yes. And then from exile, we'll cast Riddler. So I would like to exert this for red. And then blue, blue, Riddler. Riddler draw to fairy. So in that case, Solitude, evoke. Do we bounce to or exile to the fairy or the Thalia? I don't necessarily care about the Teferi, but it does represent a draw, which Thalia does not. And we can play around that. Though Thalia does represent damage, which is what I don't like. Regardless, we get rid of the Riddler. They can play the Teferi next turn. And then bounce something. They can bounce the Emrakul, but then we take another turn of theirs. We can attack with Emrakul. They can play the Thalia, but it doesn't matter because they can flicker one but not both. I'm going to exile to the Fairy. Solitude. Solitude, target Riddler. I actually think I do care about Teferi because it can bounce the Emrakul, delaying lethal. So now the question is, do I parlor and look at their top deck? I'm not sure I do, but actually I kind of want to. Problem is we don't have lethal next turn. The issue here becomes that if they are able to ever haste this Flage, we lose on the spot. So I'm thinking that we need to... They need 2 more cards in yard. I'm going to Elegant Parlor. Look at their top. I don't care about the discharge. That does get another card in yard. In fact, they can use that to get rid of the Thalia and set up for Flage, which is a bit rough. In that case, I actually might want to put this to grave, because if they Thalia, let's say on my next end step, they Thalia, discharge Thalia, then they have lethal because they'll have 6 in yard, where if I put this in yard now, the Thalia isn't going to be in grave right away. Of course, I say this, and if they find a fetch, they can haste and win. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Trixie. Put in yard. And we'll pass. And pass. Yeah, 1 fetch kills me here. We need 2 turns, and that is asking a lot. That's kind of what I wanted to get rid of Teferi as well as Riddler, to try and reduce the number of draws that they would be able to see to find the answers. I'm trying to think of what our best top decks are right now. Probably K Command, honestly. I think K Command would be the best outcome here. Paying cost for hasting. What are we hasting? I mean, if they are able to have a flyer, I might actually regret not playing this gemstone, actually. I didn't think about that. Them hasting Felia, hasting Riddler. That would, in fact, work and would also be lethal. 2. So yeah, I should have played the gemstone because that way we could have untapped the Emrakul. Well, I guess no, that wouldn't matter. They're blinking it. They're not tapping it, though. So yeah, it wouldn't matter. Dashed Rag. Sure. So basically at this point, they're positing that I have to block the Ragavan, otherwise they pilfer off top. So here's the rub. If I don't block Ragavan, they pilfer, and they also get a mana. Sure. However, that then means they have enough cards in yard at the beginning of next turn to flage and kill me, because they can haste it, right? So, I could let Ragavan connect and push me down to 3. They can Felia on end step and haste the Ragavan, and that would still leave 1, 2, 3, 4, enough for flage. So no matter what, we're looking at potential flage next turn. So I think I have to block the Rag. We block the Rag. They have enough types in yard for flage, because they would have had enough in types of yard anyways. We draw. Breaker. Breaker does not cut it, unfortunately. Because we can break or break an arena. But neither of these are exerted. So we hit that, and then they haste, and they win. We can hit them for a total of 16, 18, but unfortunately we are short. Yep, that is unfortunate, but there's not much we can do, I don't think. Oh, that's really unfortunate indeed. Alright, we'll concede. I'm just confirming one more time. I guess, no. Just trying to think if I should force them to go through the line. They seem competent enough, is the thing. Because, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, haste, 3, 2, -1. We can't do anything to gain life, so we will concede. Okay, unfortunate. Unfortunate. Trying to think what we could have done differently there. So you bring in heat, cut the return, cut the gemstone, run it back. Sideboard-wise, opponent will likely bring in 2 Damping Sphere and 3 Charmaw. Maybe Surgical as well. So the reason why I play their tap land there is because no matter what, they then get to choose to put a card into yard or to keep it on top, right? If they put a card into yard, that means they're one step closer to flage. And if they don't put a card into yard, it means that it's good enough they don't want to get closer to flage. So by us seeing what's on top, we get to decide, is this too good, right? And let's say opponent, instead of drawing into the Ragavan, drew into, I don't know, an Ephem. It wouldn't matter, right? They could, I guess, Ephem the Felia, but it would still take a turn for them, another turn for them to then haste the Flage. So otherwise, no matter what, if we see that that discharge, we then make the choice. We then have more agency. Versus not doing so means that they would have drawn into the discharge. They would have discharged the Thalia on our end step and hasted the Flage and killed us regardless. So it really came down to what we drew into more than what they drew into. I'd rather have more agency over that line than for them to have agency. Because at least then we have information. We have information of what's on their top deck, what's not on their top deck, what are their potential lines, etc. So I don't think it unfortunately would have mattered in the grand scheme if we did or didn't, because it really just came down to our draw. It needed to be Ugin, it needed to be K command, it needed to be something more than what we drew, which was a breaker, unfortunately. I'm trying to think if there's any other lines we could have taken. No, I don't think so. Like, we wanted to get rid of the Riddler, because then we could have never attacked with Emrakul. But we're on the play for game 2. Let's see what we got. That's... we can make it work. 9 hits for Rumble on 2. Another 7 for K Command 2 on 2. We keep. We will keep. Let's say you, opponent. So we're looking for either a forest or forest equivalent or another soul land. Opponent mulligans down to 6. Alright, they keep 6. Let's reveal Devour. And trigger. What do we find? That's pretty meh. We'll grab the Sanctum. At least this way we get a K Command X1 on 2. Not my preference, but it's workable. Surveil. So that way we can in fact K Command X1 on our turn to ramp Scry Draw. Keeps it on top. We draw Sanctum, K Command X1. And done. There's a Stomping Ground, draw, and pass, and hold. So next turn we Rumble. Flooded Strand. Is that discharge? It's a Ragavan, sure. So keeping up the Flooded Strand once again represents Consign or Strix. There's a Heat. Well, that does pique my interest. Regardless, we'll Stomping Ground Shock. I think we still go for the Rumble, because I have a blocker for the Rag. There is Ice still. Stomping Ground, Verdant Cat. I really want the Ice still, but we don't have a double green unless we have these Sprawls. But if we use the Sprawl, then we don't have the mana for Ice still. So unless we draw into another green source, I don't think we can get there. So in that case, let's grab the Verdant Cat. And we will pass. Next turn we can Heat. I will say they do have the ability to play Charm on next turn, which I'm not thrilled about. And again, I'm fairly certain that they're holding up Consign. Either that or Strix, but most likely Consign. Yep, attack the rag. We'll go to blocks. We will block. Second main. Land tapped. Okay. Surveil. Scouting turn. End step. Draw. Windswept Teeth. So I am thinking... We don't want to double sprawl. We can definitely single sprawl for sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm thinking Verdant Catacomb, Fetch, Forest, Sprawl for red. I suppose we could double sprawl and then heat the rag. That is a thought. Yeah, let's do that. The only downside here would be if they Ephem it, but I'm not too pressed that they Ephem a rag. Though I guess we do think about Ophelia. They do have Ophelia mana, but they've been very specific to hold up the strand, so I don't think they will. So we're going to heat the rag. Is rag down, sprawl for green. We still hold up K command, quote unquote, X2, so it's unlikely that they're going to play Ophelia into it when they've been holding a strand for Consign. So I'm going to go green here and hold. They fetch. Interesting. Do they play the Ophelia? I guess they can still hold up the Consign here at the Thundering Falls. So they probably fetch Surveil if they have another Surveil land. Otherwise, they fetch tap, would be my guess. Fetch Surveil, yep. They hold up the Consign mana. Yep, that makes sense. It makes sense. Land. 2. Dashed rag. And we'll block. Go to blocks, we block. End step. Dash back to hand. We draw. Ugin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I will cast Breaker. Breaker will attempt to break double red, blue, Thundering Falls. Do you have the Consign like I think you do? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Float blue. Question becomes, do you give me a body or give me the triggers? There's the Consign. Always yield. Yield all. You give me the trigger, surprising. I'll play the Windswept Teeth and pass. Well, I guess that actually makes sense, but I'm surprised you gave me the exile trigger. So hold up blue still, but I guess they also have the blue off the rag. Rag will connect, rag will pilfer. Rag finds a Sire 7 death, that would have been nice. Scouting turn for turn. Rag dash. We'll fetch. Surveil. Emrakul. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Emrakul top. We'll draw. We'll cast Emrakul. Trigger. Yield all. Do you have another Consign? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can grab off of Sanctum. What do we want to do with Sanctum? I'm still a little bit worried about Charmaw here, so I'm thinking maybe not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It'd still be short one, so I'm going to say Sanctum, yes. But I think I'm going to grab Mycospawn. Does the body resolve? Or do you have a Strix Serenade? There's a Strix Serenade, that's fine. We'll pass. You should have fetched your scouting turn. Yep, there you go. So we can dash the Ragavan into the bird. You got perfect knowledge now. There's Solitude, Charmal. When it's destroy target non-basic land and opponent controls. I suppose if we do that, we at least have control over what they're going to go for. So Charmal cost how much mana? 4? Yes. Maybe I should have kept the Sanctum after all. So how do we want to proceed? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. Charmal cost 4. We could destroy target non-basic land and opponent controls. I don't think you can decline this. I think that there's a choice you have to choose. It's not a May. It's not like Ugin that states that up to 1 target. So I'm pretty sure it's not a May. I think you have to choose, unfortunately. Unless I'm mistaken, I could check Scryfall to confirm. Obsidian Charmal. No, it doesn't say. But I'm pretty sure you have to choose. So we can Ragavan dash. So at the very least, we're definitely dashing the Rog. Dash the Rag. Let's go to combat. Attack. And block. I'll shock in the Sacred Foundry. And we're going to Charmal. At least this way we get to choose what they hit. And they don't hit my Devour. Charmal. Charmal trigger. Yeah, there is no choice. I must choose. We pass. Ragdash. And pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You kick Myco next turn. Flooded Strand. We know they have the Solitude in hand. We take 4 down to 10. That's the downside of the Charmal, though. K command. 1 short. We kick the Myco. Myco kick. Hit your double red. Yes, at this point, the double red. We know you have the Solitude in hand. Fledgestrand, fetch, Surveil, I suppose, unless you have no more Surveils. Steam Vents. Tapped. Last card, Solitude. We could grab Shifting Wood. That seems like a good idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Shifting Wood. And pass. And pass. And we'll take the hit down to 6. 2 cards in hand. If you found a consign, it's pretty much GG's. Casting. Flage. Flage helix target me or target Myco? Target me down to 3. We draw. Ghost Corner. So, confirming we can go Ghost Quarter, Ugin, Ugin target Charmal, now we could Ugin plus. If they draw into Arena of Glory, we're SOL, but also we're kind of tight on time, so I think I have to plus here. as awkward as that is. We draw. Forest, pass. Yeah, we're just tight on time. Pass and pass. So I need to be quick about this. Surprised I didn't flash in the Solitude at this point. They can Flage Helix. I guess actually no, he would have died. I just realized. If they had flashed it in, we would have died. No, I guess we wouldn't, because they would have gained 3. Oh, never mind. Well, I guess they wouldn't have had to. No, they could have killed me. I missed that line, and they did too. I'm getting rushed for time now. Down to 3. We draw. Ugin plus draw. Talisman. We cast Talisman. Helix. Or get rid of Flage, rather. Land for turn. We pass. We'll go to tax, actually. At this point, I'm just going to prioritize Ugin alt to win on the spot. I've been taking a bit too much time here. Draw. Ugin. Search. So, Emrakul, Sire, you, and I think that's all I'm going to do, honestly. So, cast Emrakul, yield all, cast Breaker, target, yield all, cast Sire, yield all, attack with Mycospawn. Yep, they will Solitude in. Solitude. Target Emrakul, I'd imagine. The good news is we have an Emrakul in Yard for the Shifting Wood. They'll block. That's fine. Another Solitude. We draw. Main. Evoke. Pitch. Solitude. Solitude enters. Done. Pass. Trigger on the stack. And pass. I guess we should have Ghost Courted them. Failed to find. We draw. Shifting Wood. Target Emrakul. Go to combat. We attack. Okay. 3 minutes on the clock. Let's see if we can get a quick one here. Gemstone in, Rumble out, done. We can make it work. Opponent's gonna make us work for it though, for sure. And rightfully so. Time's a resource, and we've been burning through it, trying to play around everything in their deck. On the draw for game 3, we keep this. We're gonna top deck for our life. We'll pass in full. We're looking for Ice Till. We're looking for K Command. They shock. Is it a rag? It's a rag. That is the worst case scenario here. Do we have a heat? We don't have a heat. We'll sprawl for green. Pass and pass and pass. Ragavan will connect. Ragavan will pilfer. What does Ragavan find? A Myco. I would have liked that. Thank you very much. We'll draw. Heat. I will play Temple, hold the heat. We are going to go to the beginning of their combat and heat the Ragavan. Except that is green and not red. I'm making mistakes because I'm rushing. I should have Stomping Ground shocked. Shit. That's on me. Not paying attention. I need to be quick, but I need to be paying attention as well. I was thinking that this one red, but my mistake. Ragavan will connect. Ragavan will pilfer. Ragavan finds a lab, that's fine. End step, draw. Windswept Teeth, we will Windswept Teeth pass. That way don't telegraph the heat. This is Ophelia. Felia will enter. Yes, we'll leave the heat then. See if you have a Riddler that you want to Felia flicker. If so, we're going to heat the Felia instead of the Ragavan. You do not, so in that case, we're going to fetch the Windswept Heath. We're going to shock in the Stomping Ground, and we are going to heat the Ragavan and pass. We have an Efem for the Ragavan. Next turn we can Breaker Break. Felia will attack. Flicker, sure. Rude but sure. Down to 11. 5 in hand. 2 treasures. Paying cost 4. Charmal. It does appear to be a Charmal. Hit Temple. In that case, Breaker's offline. We're going to go for green and attach it to the forest and draw K command. We're going to imprint the Breaker. I'm going to ramp and exile the Felia. We're going to angle for this Emrakul now. We're going to pass. And pass. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. One short. Maybe I should have went for the Breaker. I just don't think the Breaker wins this game fast enough. White, Efem, target the lab. Wouldn't have mattered then. I guess actually it would have. I still would have been able to play the Breaker. Damn. We'll draw. Malevolent Rumble. We will rumble. Rumble resolves. There's Mycospawn Speaker. We're going to grab the Mycospawn. Yes, yes. 6 types in yards. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I will cast the Mycospawn. 6, 7, 8, 8, 12. Yes, I will cast Mycospawn. Yield all. Do you have a consign? Or a Strict Serenade? You don't. We're going to grab Temple. I guess you're going to rebound. Shit, that's right. Rebound. I guess that means you don't attack, though. Rebound. Gives me another turn. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Still one short. So we need a land here. 2 minutes on the clock. We'll draw land. We cast Emrakul. Our turn, comrade. Do you have a consign? Or a Strict Serenade for that matter. Pound's thinking hard here. Paying cost. They have a consign after all. The trigger resolved. Does the body resolve? Paying cost. What are you paying cost for? No more lies. Okay. What do you have in hand? We need to deal with this Charmal. Solitude, target Myco. There goes the Flasian hand for the Solitude to stop me from going off the the Charmal then. That makes sense. Goes for the Spawn. Interesting. I guess they don't want to give me more life than they have to. There's Strict Serenade. There's Arid Mesa. I guess we can Arid Mesa fetch. I don't want a Riddler though, but I don't want to give them a Strict freaking... I can't do either. So I guess we can just fetch Fail to Find. Shit. Yep, we'll fetch Fail to Find, and we'll pass. No attacks. You'll hit me for 4 down to 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Meaning none of our semi-devised spells are live. And we're short 1 Emrakul. Thundering Falls Surveil. And then Warps Riddler draws 2. Unless they want to hold, they hold. Ghost Quarter does nothing, and we will concede. Unfortunate. But yeah, we made some early mistakes there because I was rushing against time in the earlier turns of game 3. I should have shocked in my stomping ground to heat the rag. It did work out in the long run because we were able to get rid of the Felia, but it did cost us because I think, what did they pilfer at one point? I think they pilfered either Micah or Lab or both. I think the Lab was the second one, so it kind of worked out in our favor. But unfortunately, just not good enough. All right. We'll be back for match 5. All right. And we're back for match 5 on the play for game 1. I almost wish I was on the draw here. I'm not going to lie. I think I might have to mulligan here. If I was on the draw, we could have gone Gemstone into the Rumble on 1, but no such luck, so we're going to mulligan here. This does work. Yes. We'll keep, we pitch the commercial district. Done, reveal, trigger. What do you find here? Ghost Quarter, Sire, Wooded Foothill. We're going to be able to, I think we can actually go Talisman here, yeah. So, Stomping, Shock, Sprawl. 4 green. And pass. And pass. Our flagstones. So we can go Lab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm tempted to go Lab, no imprint, Talisman into Rumble. Because our opponent's playing land destruction. So I don't want to give him as much. I don't want to give him fodder. At the same time, I think we still do imprint. Talisman. And let's go double green, tap you. Rumble. You find Sire or a land. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If they blow up a land, we go down to 5. So we're going to grab a forest here. And we're going to pass. This way we can kick Myco next turn. 18. There's Boom Bust. Yep. That's fine. Actually, that's less fine, because Boom Bust does not give us a land, right? Shit. Unfortunate. Suppression Field TR'd. We'll draw. Temple works, though. Better be lucky than it is to be good, friends. Myco Kick hits Sacred Foundry. And now the funny part is they actually have enabled my Shifting Woodland. We're going to pass. And pass. And pass in full. Paying cost 4. Portable Hole. Rude. We'll draw Ice Till. We're going to play Ice Till. And I think that should just be GG's. Opponent does agree that Ice Till means GG's in this matchup. We'll win. Alright. Let's take a look at their list real quick. So we have main creatures, Tabernacle, Charmaw. So I'm thinking we bring in Heat. We cut the K returns. No need for Bajuka Bog. And sideboard, Obsidian Charmaw, Flashfire, Boil, Ghostly Prison, Rest in Peace, Damn Sphere, Vexing Bubble. It's nothing that we really need to bring in, it doesn't look like. Yeah, I think we probably just run it back like this, to be honest. I guess we could. They only play 2 mountains, so actually keeping the Ghost Quarter seems fine. This does look good. This is 6 on 2. We'll keep. Opponent mulligans down to 6. Of course, we get absolutely hosed by like a boom bust, but this should be fine. I guess we don't need to feed them the Stomping Ground Sprawl. We could just go Lab to start. Or Stomping Ground to start tapped. We could just go Stomping Ground tapped. That is a thought. Regardless, we're going to pass in full. Second Foundry tapped. Second Sprawl. In that case, yeah, we'll shock Sprawl green. And pass. And pass. I'd rather not Sprawl stack if I can help it. Flagstones, do you have Boom Bust? That would hurt a lot. Yep, that hurts a lot. So now we need a green source for the 6. Boom Bust was by far the worst case scenario there. We'll draw. Talisman does work. I'm going to imprint. I'm going to say Breaker because I don't think they can deal a Sire. Play the Talisman pass and pray they don't have more land destruction, but that's a tall ask here. Cataracts. Stone Rain. Draw. Windswept Teeth. I'm going to... I don't think anything they have cares about non-basics. In that case, we're going to fetch Surveil. Keep Yard. Sprawl. For green. And pass. Can I just resolve this 6, please? That'd be really cool of you. Paying cost. Portable Hole. Hits Talisman. Sure. Paying cost. Damp Sphere. That's fine, actually. I need a land now. Need draw. Devour's not it. We'll pass. End step. And pass. 3 in hand. What you got? Paying cost 4. Valakut. Draw 3. Draws 3. Do you have a land? You do. Land. Rumble. We'll rumble. There's Lab. I'll grab Lab. I will imprint Devourer and pass. And hold. Paying cost 4. Pillage. Pillage does resolve, so we need a green source now. I suppose I could sacrifice the Breaker, but it means that we sacrifice the token. I don't think there's a benefit to sacrificing it to Breaker right now, so I'm just going to pass. I need a land here. Forge, paying cost 4. Keep in mind you're being taxed by 1. Portable Hole does work. On the spawn, you're empty-handed. Show me an untapped green source here. Forest or forest equivalent. Perfect. We fetch for a forest and cast 6. Oh, no we don't because frick. Right. Damn Sphere. Yep. I forgot about that. That's unfortunate. Draw a card. In that case, honestly, I'm just going to return this to hand. Absolutely botched that. Untapped land. Perfect. Now we can actually play 6. Please don't have Mana Tithe. We pass. No Mana Tithe. 6 sticks on board. We pass. Second main. Boom Bust. Draw. Talisman. Let's go to combat. Attack with 6. Always yield. Grabs Verdant Cat. Connects down to 18. We'll cast Talisman. Verdant Cat. And pass. And opponent scoops it up, we take the win. Solid. Alright, land destruction don't got nothing on Eldrazi ramp, I'll tell you what. With that being said, we'll be back for match number 6. Alright, and we're back for match 6 on the play for game 1. I'll keep... We'll draw, I guess not draw, we'll go Misty Rainforest and pass. Suppose they're playing against Living End. Opponent will draw, go to main, surveil, hedge maze that it looks like it could be. Meticulous archive, lining up for the colors. We'll fetch surveil. And devour to yard. And draw. Shifting wood. We'll lab imprint breaker. And pass. I'm half tempted to K command here to ramp scry draw, but I might just hold it. Generous End for a cycle. Okay, now I actually might go for it to scry draw or to ramp and exile. Lushport Surveil. Waker. Let's go to end step. We'll get rid of, I think, the Waker. I don't care about the Ent as much. I'm going to ramp and exile. Ramp, exile, Waker. And done. Waker down. And draw. Mycospawn can Bajuka Bog. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bajuka Bog does seem decent here. So we'll go Shifting Woodland, Mycospawn to Bajuka Bog. Yield all. I mean, you could Subtlety if you really want. Though you want to do that after my search, though. There's Subtlety. They do it before my search. That's a bad decision, because now I can Bajuka Bog the Subtlety. It doesn't matter where I put the Mycospawn. It gets shuffled, and we Bajuka Bog you. And pass. And we now can hold. So unlikely that they're going to Living End here. We could hold K command. We also could go Ugin, but I think I'm going to hold the K command. Emrakul. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're going to pass. Hold K command. We might angle toward this Emrakul then. What say you, opponent? Alright, gonna hold. End step fetch for a forest. And K command ramp and scry draw. And done. You want a hard cast force maybe? Perfect, that's what I wanted. Hard cast force. K command out, we draw. So now we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So not enough for Emrakul, but that force was bait for the Ugin. Ugin, no targets, yield all. Do you have another force or subtlety? No response to the trigger. There's another force pitching Shardless Agent. Okay. We'll pass at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Short 1 Breaker. And I think short 1 Emrakul, to be fair. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, short 1 Emrakul. So we find an untapped land, we're going to go Emrakul. What say you, opponent? You have nothing in yards, so it's not like you're going to Living End me. Worst comes to worst, we can Shifting Wood, smack into face for 6 with Devourer. What say you, friend? Passing. I'll draw. Speaker. Speaker does give us Emrakul next turn. That is the thought. The other option, though, you know what I'm going to do instead? So we're going to go 1, 2, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, Speaker. The Speaker Resolve. So they're going to find Endurance, because I'm going to pitch this Emrakul. Pitch Emrakul, and I'm going to grab an Emrakul. In retrospect, I probably should have tapped some other stuff. Could go Myco Spawn here. If we can't Myco Spawn, kick. Could go Ice still. In that case, I definitely should have not tapped another green. We can't kill with Emmy this turn, but we can definitely set it up for next. So in that case, I might just go for Myco here. I guess we actually could still go Ice Till, because we can Ghost Quarter on land and then Ice Till. It's not a half bad idea, honestly. Because we haven't played a land for turn. So we could double Ghost Quarter? Sure. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to go Ice Till. I'm going to Ghost Quarter my own Bajuka Bog. Yes, for a forest. So now Bajuka Bog's primed as well, which is nice. Ice Till. We're going to go Ghost Quarter and Mill. Do I want to Ghost Quarter you more? Actually, let's take a look at your basics. You have 2 basics. So I can Ghost Quarter you twice. You've already used 1 basic. So in that case, you want to take out your white source. Flip the white. Let's phase change. Go to second main. No attacks. I will play Ghost Quarter again and mill. Temple. We're going to hit the Hedge Maze. And we're going to pass. Yeah, because we played 2 Ghost Quarters. Those should be our lands for turn. We're good. We could have probably gone for a 3rd time, but I missed up my tapping, so a bit unfortunate on that part. I could have played that a bit better. Curator, sure. Right now we're representing 17 damage, and we also can just Ghost Quarter your last lands. What say you, opponent? You can even Bajuka Bog you, get rid of what's in yard. And opponent's going to pass. We're going to draw. Ghost Quarter, mill. Nice Till. At the breeding pool. Fail to find, I'd imagine. Ghost Quarter, mill. Ghost Quarter, target your forest. Yeah, I was about to say, like, there's nothing you can do. I'm going to do it again, and then just to add insult to injury, I'm going to Shifting Wood the Ice Till in my yard for another Ghost Quarter. Yeah, we're good. Living End, win. Looking at sideboard, they do play Betrayal, so we're going to cut Emrakul, Sire, return, keep Bog, Trinisphere, Bauble. We don't need to go Flute, though. What do you bring in? I guess actually Jailer, right? Jailer. Then one more. They do have Clarion Conqueror, so Dismember might be right, actually. Trim a Rumble, Dismember. And I think run it back like this. Yeah. I think that's correct. We can make this work. I'll keep. I'll pass. Misty Rainforest passing. We'll draw. Would have liked the land there. We'll go double green. Unless you have a force. Green and pass. If I could find a land off top, that would be great. Imagine you surveil here. Opponent's gonna be really disappointed if they betrayal me and just see that the best card they can grab is the Devour of Destiny. We'll pass. What say you, friendo? Mistrise Village. Yep, we'll draw. Sprawl. We'll go Rumble. Please show me a land. Unless you force, that'd be sad. At least we'd still be on curve, I guess. Force, pitching Curator will pass. Rip. We'll pass. We can still accelerate next turn. There's Boseiju. Show me Ardent Plea. Yep. Into Betrayal. Into Betrayal. Have fun. They'll take Devour of Destiny, I imagine. Yeah, I think cutting the Sires in this matchup is actually correct, unfortunately. But I guess you could grab an Ice Till. You could do that. You could grab Ice Till and ramp. That is a genuine consideration, I suppose. But I imagine you grab Devour. Opponent's doing the math to figure out my hand? Maybe. What I really need right now is a land, though. Criminy. Desperately need a land. I could find a green source. That'd be great, actually. Ice Till? So they do grab the Ice Till. Okay, interesting. Misty. Mill's Endurance. Passing. Draw. Land. Yes. We shock. Sprawl stack. For green. And this is 4 plus 2. So I'm thinking we go Speaker here. Yeah, we could go Speaker here. And that would be 4, 5, 6. If I can find a land, we get Ugin next turn. Otherwise, we can Rumble. And that will get us to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We already played our land for a turn, so we're going to go Speaker. You have a Subtlety. You do not. Do we pitch a card? We could pitch Ice Till, but for what? We could pitch Ice Till as right now we don't have any lands to feed it anyways. But I guess we could play it next turn. We could grab Mycospawn, yeah. We don't have the ability to kick yet, but it does ramp us, which is good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 5 land. Yeah, I'll pitch Ice Till here. Grab Mycospawn and pass. Because, yeah, what we can do is we can rumble, then we can untap, and we find a land, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because this is double stacked. So we have 6, -1, 5, plus a land. We can then kick the Myco. Cool. Endurance to yard. Milling all of their endurances. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. I mean, if we find a land, we could also play Ugin next turn. Of course, we just have to deal subtlety and force. Found their 3rd endurance. Jesus. All the endurances into the yard. Surveil. Okay. Meal. Commandeer. You would have liked that Commandeer. That's their 1 Commandeer out. Honestly, I'm starting to think that Ice Still's hurting them more than helping them, if I'm being completely honest. Waker Waves. Paying cost. Force of Vigor. Brutal. Hardcast Force. Okay. Attacking doesn't make sense here. I'll draw. Temple. We did find the temple off top, funny enough. I suppose we could Bajuka Bog in case they do have a... whatchamacallit? In case they do have Living End left in deck, because they have like 3 endurances plus Waker. So I think the Bajuka Bog might make sense here. Because they didn't take it out, no. We could also tap on tap. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that doesn't make any sense, I don't think. I guess it would give us an X equals 1. It would give us an X equals 1, but I don't think that matters much in the grand scheme. No. I'm just going to Myco spawn here. Myco spawn. Bajuka Bog. Bajuka Bog, target you. And pass. No attacks. Next turn we have K command, Misty Rainforest, Breeding Pool, tapped mill, Street Wraith to yard, sure, we'll pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Eldrazi. They're gonna mill more cards, Charlotte's Agent to yard. I'm pretty sure they're hitting all of the cards they want to find on the mill. Like, what are they even trying to cast at this point? A freaking Colossal Sky Turtle? Curator. Ice Still. Land. Paying cost 4. Is it actually Colossal Sky Turtle? No shot? I was right. Oh, that's actually really funny. We'll draw. Another K command. Let's start with Rumble. Try and find a land here. No lands. We have Talisman Sprawl. I suppose we can go Talisman for after Ugin's Resolution. I will see if I can go to end step and stop them from ramping. That would be kind of nice. So let's go to end step. Let's see if you crack your Misty so I can get rid of it. Thank you. We're going to wait until after the mill. Temple Garden tapped. Mill. Street Wraith. I'm going to ramp and exile cards in yard. So actually we're going to tap. Untap. K command. Ramp and exile. Ramp. exile, done, and done. Play around the force, lands out, Ugin primed, we pass. I can still have the subtlety, which would kind of suck. It also has ward 2, which is kind of annoying. Another Misty. Sure, I guess. What else you got? Endurance hits my yard. That's fine. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with that. So we're going to take 7 in the air. I guess I could attack with Ice still as well. No, definitely. No, there's just going to be 7 in the air, yeah. No reason to attack with the Ice still as well because then the Exalted trigger doesn't matter. Yep. 7 in the air, down to 11. No reason to cast my K command here. What else you got? Misty Rainforest Fetch down to 11. I'm pretty sure I've not actually done any combat damage. Charles Agent's Yard. Okay. So the worst case scenario here is Subtlety and... what else? Subtlety Force, but you're paying something here. 3. Colossal Sky Turtle, return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Shardless Agent. Okay. You go for another Betrayal. So there's Shardless Agent. Okay. Cascade Trigger. There's Betrayal. Yield all. So again, next turn we have Ugin. We can Ugin, Exile, Ice Tiller, Endurance. We can't deal with the Colossal Sky Turtle just yet. Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, actually, if we go 7, 0, untap, we could. We actually can. No, we can actually do it next turn. So here's the math. 7, exile, let's say Ice Till. We 0, we untap the Temple, we cast K command for 0, we use the additional 2 from the Ugin to pay the ward. Yeah. So we can get rid of the Sky Turtle. They don't have Force in hand, since they only have 1, they don't have Subtlety, so this is fine. So yeah, we can get rid of Ice Till, we can get rid of the Sky Turtle. Honestly, we might get rid of the Endurance first before the Ice Till at this point, to be honest. But we can get rid of the Sky Turtle, which matters. I think your best card here, really grabbing Speaker. Okay. Speaker pitch what for what? Ent? Interesting. Harbinger, the fresh wood. If that was a turn sooner, we'd be so in trouble right now. But we're good. Alright, Ghost Quarter, land as well, perfect. Alright, so we're gonna go Ugin. 1, 2, 3. Ugin, Exile, Endurance. Exile's Endurance. 0. Tap. Untap. K command for 0. I guess I can ramp and I guess actually no, we don't have to do it for 0, do we? We can do it for 2. So we can ramp and scry draw. And then the 2 for the ward. It is ward 2, right? Yep, it is ward 2. Ugin trigger, target Sky Turtle. Ward 2. Pay the ward 2. There's Bauble, there's Trinisphere. I'm actually going to take the Bauble. I'm going to bottom Trinisphere, top Bauble. We're going to then exile Ice Till. And then we're going to Bauble, exile Formidable Speaker. Actually, we can exile, I guess, Ardent Play. Yeah, we can just exile Ardent Play, I suppose, because then if they attack, we can block. Yeah, I guess exiling the Ardent Play makes sense here. And then we'll pass in full. That was one hell of a turn. Jesus. Good stuff. No, I don't care about Harbinger at this point, I don't think. We have the Ugin on board, and the Harbinger's doing nothing. So they can play the Harbinger for all I care. It is quite literally doing nothing on board with this Ugin here. Harbinger. Yep, Harbinger out. That's fine. They're not going to attack. And Phone scoops it up? Yeah. GG's. Solid stuff. Good wins against Living End. That's going to be a 4-2 record at the end of 6. We don't know what our placement's going to be, so we'll either be back for the wrap-up or the top 8 of tonight's challenge. Be back shortly. Alright, and we're back for the wrap-up. Unfortunately, we did get bubbled out. The lowest OMW for top 8 at X2 was 62%, so pretty competitive to say the least. But we got 10th place, so can't really complain too much. Our only 2 losses were to Blink, which overall I felt was pretty good. As far as like the matches were concerned, I feel like they were pretty good, so I can't complain too much. But otherwise, solid wins into Wan Shi Tong, Affinity, Land Destruction, Living End. I mean, the deck continues to impress, so I'm not disappointed. With that being said, though, folks, that there will be the end of tonight's YouTube video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please do consider hitting the like button, comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback be much appreciated. For as much that I hope y'all learn from me in both my success and failure, I hope I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached the point of the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button as we do continue to grow this channel. However, if you would like to watch these videos recorded live over on Twitch, you can find me there Sundays through Thursdays at 10 p.m. CST and Fridays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. CST for the weekend challenges. Otherwise, you can head over to my Patreon. You can find these videos ad-free and early. With that being said, though, folks, I will see you next time. Bye-bye!